Welcome to the Northern Powerhouse interview series, where we're unashamedly spreading good news by interviewing Northern businesses and their successes during the pandemic. Subscribe to be notified of new interviews or click the link in the description to take part if you'd like to be interviewed yourself in a future episode.
Good morning. Welcome to Northern Powerhouses Business Success Stories. We have Chris Mercer-Jones with us this morning, who is the People and Performance Director at CSG Talent. So good morning. Thank you ever so much for joining us. Can I just start by asking, can you introduce yourself to us properly? Can you tell us a little bit more about what it is you guys do?
Sure, yeah. So, Chris Mercer-Jones, People and Performance Director. CSG is an international search firm. We basically recruit across technical engineering type positions at senior level, mid to senior level. A lot of the work we do is retained, where the clients pay us up front for the work that we do. So it's very specialist, very niche, and usually involves quite extensive searches to find the right people. So yeah, that's what we do.
Amazing. So how, in light of everything that's gone on, the challenges that we've all faced over the last year, how's the pandemic affected you guys and what you do?
Well, it's fair to say it's affected everything that we do. All of our specialist markets have been affected. So, for instance, we have quite a large medical team, medical devices, and a lot of the elective surgeries, or pretty much all of the elective surgeries, were stopped right across Europe and the US, which has had a massive impact on the revenue and the areas that they work. We've got a big mining team. Mining sites were closed. You know, the consumer side factories were closed. We then had the knock-on effect of supply chain problems, with China being pretty much the first country to go into lockdown, so that had a huge knock-on effect, and then Europe, and then America. So you know, it's hit us hard. We've had recruitment freezes right across the board. A lot of assignments that we were sort of midway through, companies just put on hold. So yeah, it's been monumental. In the 20 years I've been in recruitment, it's been the most traumatic time, I would say. Even the dot-com era, bubble bursting, 9/11, these are all big events, but this has been significantly the worst.
So how did you begin to overcome those challenges?
Well, I think we had to adapt really quickly. We didn't know what was going to happen. Nobody knew really, so we had to make some pretty tough decisions at the start of the process. We had to, restructure, think very quickly about where the stronger markets were, and move some of the personnel into those areas where there was potentially, critical hires, critical recruitment projects still ongoing. We obviously took advantage of the furlough scheme, as many companies have done, and that was absolutely a lifesaver, a game changer for us. So we furloughed a lot of our sort of lesser experienced consultants, and really relied on the managers and the senior consultants to get us through, and they did an absolutely sterling job. Really it was about camaraderie and working together, and sharing. Some of the markets that were doing okay, we actually moved consultants who'd never worked in those markets into those markets to work alongside the existing consultants to give them extra support.
Yeah, brilliant. So how has it been for the team? You've got the guys that have been all hands to the pump, and those that have been part of the furlough scheme. How have the team adapted? How has it been for them?
It's been interesting. It's been I guess in my role, I was responsible for not only working with the consultants and the managers that were not furloughed, but I made it my mission to reach out to all of those who were furloughed on a weekly basis, because weirdly, not doing anything and being in lockdown actually caused as much stress and hardship as for some of the people that were left here working really, really hard, but just a different type of stress, I guess. So everybody was affected differently. Some people embraced it and saw it as an opportunity to, try new things. Others just, really didn't enjoy the isolation or the stress of not having anything to stress about. Sounds unusual, but yeah. So it's weirdly, I thought it might polarize the business, but it had the opposite effect. It really galvanized us, and people, the furloughed consultants, were in regular contact with the consultants that were working. I think they totally appreciated the shift that those employees were putting in. So that was really nice to see, and vice versa. There wasn't any huge resentment for those who were furloughed, because actually you couldn't do a great deal. So no, I think it really showed the culture that we do have at CSG, and the fact that actually we were all massively in it together, and really helped with solidarity around one another.
How are you doing with bringing the team back from furlough?
So we brought people. We started to bring people back pretty much as of October last year. As of the new year, everybody was back. Wow. In the business. So it's we've seen a really strong recovery. I think the momentum has been colossal. I think we were fortunate being a global search firm in that, as China came out of lockdown earliest, we were able to shift a lot of our emphasis and focus further east. And meanwhile, we were able to, because the US in quite a lot of the states was still open for business, as it were, we were able to recruit over there whilst China was struggling, and then shifted our emphasis further east. So yeah, we've had a really strong return to form. We're outperforming sort of pre-COVID months. So yeah, we've seen a really phenomenal bounce back. I think there's a lot of businesses very, very passionate about pushing forwards and making up for 2020.
Last time. So what kind of adaptations have you guys had to make? Previously, being working globally, was there travel involved for you guys, or have you always been set for kind of remote setup?
Well, yeah, we used to do a lot of travel. We, in getting in front of our clients is an important part of the job. I think a lot of the consultants enjoy, their quarterly trips to the US or Germany or wherever. So yeah, obviously all of that was put on hold. And like most firms, we've taken full advantage of Teams and Zoom and Skype and so on. I think it's changed the recruitment landscape probably forever now. Most clients are not only comfortable with interviews over Teams or Zoom and so on, but in more occasions than I would have realised, they've been happy to offer, and these are pretty senior candidates. So the fact that they are happy to embrace the technology has been really, really advantageous. So I think post all of this, when the world returns to normal, I think there'll be a blend of the two now. So I think probably less travel, but I think there's still a desire to get back to meeting people face to face.
Absolutely. How do your team feel about it from a relationship building sort of point of view? Do they favour meeting in person versus Zoom, or speak to so many people now that sit on either side of the fence?
Well, I think that the choice was prior to all of this. The choice was telephone or face to face, and nobody would argue that face to face is a better platform to build rapport and build those relationships. The tech has bridged a gap that we didn't have before. So I think now, using a blend of the two will be really, really effective. We're having, on the whole, more interviews per assignment. but they happen quicker because they're on Teams. They're meeting more people in the business, applicants, when they're being considered. So there might be 6, maybe 8 Teams interviews, whereas when it was all face-to-face, you might only have 3 or 4.
Wow.
So I think it's definitely helping from a cultural alignment point of view. They're getting to meet more of the people in the business, get a better feel for what the organization's about. But I think ultimately, when everything's back to normal, the clients will still want to, meet those candidates face to face for that final couple of decisions. But no, it's been really, really helpful, and actually probably forged better relationships with more of our clients that we would have done if it was just face to face.
Brilliant. And what has it meant for you as a leader in the business? How have you had to adapt your leadership style to match the needs of both the team and the business over the last year?
Well, I think it's forced us as a leadership team to really come together. We've made some significant changes in terms of frequency of meetings. The board meets now every week. We meet every week to then agree key action plans week by week, that then gets fed into the senior leadership team that also meets every week. So I think it's provided us with a stronger platform. It's brought us closer together as a business. I think we've ironed out some of the issues around communication, which often happens in a sort of medium-sized business like ours. We've currently invested a lot of time and energy into a D&I policy that we've now got in place. We have D&I committee meetings regularly every couple of weeks. So yeah, it's really brought us together, as a business. So I think we're better for it.
Brilliant. So what kind of challenges are you guys sort of envisioning for the as we emerge from lockdown? What kind of challenges do you think you might have ahead of you?
Well, I think the challenges will just be in anything. It's a positive challenge. As I say, the markets are responding really, really positively, and as an organisation, we just want to be best positioned to benefit from that growth. It's making sure that we're adapting to the markets that are seeing stronger return, as is often the case following huge dips in global performance. Technology tends to lead the front, so a lot of our growth areas are going to be heavily technology based, looking at new technology, investment in technology. So it's just making sure that we adapt to what is going to be, I think, probably 2 or 3 years of considerable growth.
Brilliant. And what do you feel are the biggest sort of wins that you've had over the last year, or the biggest takeaway, biggest positive that you can take away?
I think actually it's the realization that the culture that we've got is really positive, really collaborative. Under stress, like what the business has been through. If there was any sort of fracture lines, they would have appeared. And I think actually the opposites happened. I think the culture that we hoped we were creating has just been reaffirmed that it's absolutely there in all its glory. Everyone's really, really got behind one another, supported each other. And I think that the sheer sort of collective relief of coming out of it has been phenomenal. But it's interesting. I was on a Zoom call with 2 of our Australian counterparts this morning, and I didn't realise that they've gone back into lockdown in Australia. So it's just a stark reminder that it's still affecting us, depending on where you're based in the world. So no, I think it's really helped us understand what we are as a business, and that the people in this business are really in it together. I think the other thing is that we've recently created, as in January this year, we created a new academy program that is all about bringing inexperienced talent into the business, training them up properly over a 3-6 month period. It might seem an odd time to do it when we're only just coming out of lockdown, but actually we saw it as a huge opportunity to really help us grow for the next 5-10 years and beyond. So yeah, we've really helped us think about what we want to do as a business and where we want to go. So it's been really positive.
Brilliant. So what are you guys, it might seem like a daft question, but what are you guys most looking forward to, over the next few months as the world starts to turn again?
Well, do you know what, for a business like ours, it's doing group or company-wide incentives. We enjoy getting together, whether it's a bowling day or whether it's we've just recently closed out. We'll probably get it done in the next couple of days. A big incentive to take the whole company to York races. So, we're all really excited about that. Just to do normal socializing things like that. Because all of that group stuff. We're not even. We're in the office, but you're not allowed to really operate between the different floors. So even now, even though we're in a building together, there's still quite a lot of segregation. So I think just being able to do those normal things where you can actually just do it together as a company is going to be fantastic. We're really looking forward to that. And also I know some of them are really keen to get traveling again. They've got that bug back. They want to get out. We do a lot of trips to the US to meet clients over there. So I think there's quite a few of them itching to get back out to sunnier climes.
Yeah, I'm with him on that one. Absolutely. And what does the future hold for you guys?
Well, I think the future is definitely positive for us. We've put some good infrastructure in place, some good building blocks. It's taught us a lot about us as a business and what we stand for and what we're all about. So I'm really excited. I think it's going to be a fantastic next 12-18 months of gradual we've got counterparts, like I say, in Australia, so for them at some point they'll start to be able to socialize again as well. So there'll be wins that happen all across the different offices that we have. So yeah, it's just going to be I just think it's going to be a great time for everybody as normality kicks in.
Brilliant. My last question is, of everything that you've experienced over the last year, what would be your key learning?
I think the key learning is and it sounds cheesy, but it always boils back to clear communication as a business. If you communicate clearly that we support you, we're there for you, we listen to you, we take feedback. The teams have responded unbelievably, and I think it's that open honesty, that transparency of communication that's really helped us galvanize as a business and got us through what has been a phenomenally challenging 12-18 months. Recruitment business, we are a service industry, so we rely massively on customers looking to grow, and recruitment is always a hard hit industry when economy shrinks. So it's been a real lesson for us that actually, as long as we communicate and get the teams on side and they know exactly what we're all about and where we're going, they'll back us, which is really positive.
Brilliant. Well, thank you so much for sharing your experiences and your learning over the last year with us. It's so valuable to get these messages out there, and we really do appreciate your time, Chris. Thank you ever so much. It's been a pleasure to chat with you.
Thanks for watching. What was your takeaway from today's interview? Please post it in the comments below and subscribe for all our upcoming videos, or click for the next video here.